It's so crazy when I click off. If I don't click out of that whole like chat thread thing, it keeps our non-streamer mode thing up, which is weird.
Mm.
I don't know. Strange things. Stranger things have happened. My kids are going through Stranger Things again. You seen this PSP stuff about like that unused core or something? There's like a dual core thing to turn on with the PSP. It was already known that the PSP had a second MIPS core, and we had already been using it as a second CPU to offload custom tasks. However, mysteries remained, and some still do. MIPS.
That has to be some of the older versions.
Yeah.
And I doubt the 1000 had that.
There was a MIPS processor in the 64, right? Isn't that what they named that bunny after? That rabbit? Wasn't his name MIPS in Mario 64? As he runs around. MIPS processor. Now we just have an arm bunny. It's not quite fear the arm bunny. He's armed and it's an armed hare. Sorry. We'll stop. Nobody's here. Nobody's here for this embarrassment.
Nobody's here.
Nobody's here. See, nobody's here. Pocopia Switch 2-pack. Last gen GTA 5 owners. What is that? I don't think it's newsworthy. You don't have to pay. There's no path to victory for GTA 5. If you have it for Xbox One and PS4, they're just going to give it to you. X is going to give it to you.
I mean, we can mention it. Because I even didn't put I figured it was non-news. But, the pre-orders go live Thursday. So, and they still haven't even announced the price. And the people are freaking out because some foreign country, it was like posted in euros or something, like put 5 different SKUs of GTA up there.
Yeah, the pre-orders
of GTA 6, and people are like, oh, GTA is going to be over $100, and it's like, okay, first of all, that's a euro symbol. Second of all, if you do conversions, it's not going to come out to exactly 100.
Yeah,
it's closer to about $80 for that base game. Also, they just pulled numbers out of, they don't know. This is an online retailer that literally put placeholders up. There's probably not even 5 versions of the game. There's going to be the regular, the most likely a deluxe edition, and then possibly a collector's edition.
This is like the most anticipated video game of all time. When was the last time there was this big of a new release? Was it GTA 5 for 360 and PS3, like shutting places down? It's not a Halo game. It's not an annual Call of Duty release.
It's funny because somebody I was talking about it, and they're they'd already this person had bitched about like when the Switch 2 got talked about, and he was getting his information elsewhere, and he's like, yeah, and if they've got $90 games over there, I'm like, no, they're not $90. He's like, I would never pay $90 for a game, and now he owns a Switch 2 and absolutely loves it. And but then this week he's talking about GTA might be $100 game, and I don't know, man. It's probably worth it. It's gonna be such a great game. And
this is a friend or a coworker
Nope, coworker. I'm like, nope. It's too expensive. $100, it would be ridiculous. I was like, if that's the collector's edition, sure.
They'll sell them. I don't know. They'll sell them, man. People are gonna buy that shit.
Because there are people like that out there. They're like, oh, GTA, yep. I'm like, you're getting in. First of all, it's like everything else. It's gonna be incomplete. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, they're gonna add the online later. Online will probably come next year. And they sat there and thought about it. They're like, dang, GTA 5 didn't have online at launch. I'm like, yeah.
There's going to be patch after patch after patch, and ray tracing will get added, and co-op support, and whatever else, they slowly drip feed.
Oh,
like you said, just like everything
hopefully
else.
it won't be a buggy mess, but I doubt it. Rockstar, aside from their those ports of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy that they did a couple years ago, but that was somebody
That
else
wasn't even
technically.
them. Yeah. Was that
Yeah.
Virtuos? Was that the Chinese studio, or was that somebody else?
I think it was Virtuos.
That's
But
the first thing that came
usually,
to mind.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good with their stuff. So
Yeah.
I doubt it'll be a disaster of release. It's going to be a big release. It's going to be a good game, but
yeah, it's not gonna dampen sales.
No.
I mean, and the early ones were like, you exploited the bugs, like that was part of the fun. Was
that was yeah,
madness of seeing what that
shoot.
looked
I remember
like.
GTA 4 being online with people and us like, hey, did you know that you could go to this specific like swing set and drive into it and it'll launch you across the map? I'm like, no, let's do it. And we'd have fun just like trying to wedge ourselves right in the swing set in just the right manner to be launched off and see how far you could get launched.
4 was another one of those that I talked about, that old crew that played Gears of War and Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the stuff like that back in the day. And GTA 4 had a slight grip. And I was in between because that was, there was no crossplay, and like I was in bed with the PS3 at that point. I had sold my 360 and I was in bed with the PS3, and I was like, damn it, I got to get one of these things. But even at that, like I wasn't buying 2 SKUs of everything. So I bought GTA 4 on PS3, and they were all playing together on Xbox. So I mentioned this before, but like I was always grateful when something was an exclusive, because it's like, okay, I don't have to stress about which friend group is doing it. And I did that all the way up until basically this generation broke that, right? But I was like, man, what are we getting this thing on so I could play with you guys? And maybe my brother's getting it on something else. Like there was always this in between that you would get stuck in. I don't know that I ever played GTA 4 online. I saw plenty of clips. It's kind of like YouTube getting big at the same time. Plenty of clips of people playing that and getting into hijinks. But all right, you ready to rock and roll, young Brant McKee? We got 3 people here with us for this pre-show madness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 402 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and Grand Theft Auto 6 sales prediction podcast. That's right. We've got all the answers. We've got all of your regional pricing and SKUs confirmed by Brant McKee, our newsmaster. He's been out there. He's been traveling the world and breaking into shops to look at their stock of GTA 6 and taking pictures of their price stickers on the shelves, because that's where they go. Brant, what have you found? You're live. Where are you at right now? Where have you seen this pricing structure?
I'm crafting mini tinfoil hats at the moment, trying to
calm the masses.
Gather all my information as I pin all the string to the board as well on the cork board, going from picture to picture, price to price.
So I could see what you've kind of traced out back there in the background. It looks like they're going live maybe this Saturday in Antarctica. So if you're on that continent, you may have first crack at GTA 6 for GameCube. GameCube confirmed.
The penguins down there go absolutely crazy for some GTA.
Would you run over a penguin, Brant, if you were playing GTA and you were driving around? Would you avoid the
GTA Antarctic?
Putting the Antarctic in A. Putting the A in Antarctic. Oh, man, that's harsh.
Polar bear.
Oh, a bear will fuck up a car, though.
Club a baby seal.
Brant's getting dark. It started off innocent, but now we're killing all these animals. They're probably not.
What else is there to do?
They're probably not in Antarctica. There's people yelling at the show like, those are only in the Arctic region. They don't have penguins there.
Oh,
Arctic, Antarctic, that's it. They're interchangeable. Tonight's news, we have a small smattering of news. Ubisoft co-founder passes in accident. How much is the Steam machine? Question mark! Exclamation point. Retro re-release of 2 Sonic games. I'm hoping they are Sonic Drift 1 and 2. We need more copies of that because that's a Sonic game I can actually beat. And confusion around Halo Combat Evolves co-op. We've all been ranting and raving about that this week. I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by, fresh from his assignment, recording GTA 6 prices around the world, Newsmaster Brant McKee.
What's up? I'm picturing like where in the world is I should have like the where in the world is Carmen.
World is Brant McKee pricing GTA 6.
Just like a big old, get myself a big red hat, a trench coat.
But they both have the Rockstar logo on them.
Yeah.
And you're just sleuthing out. You're trying to find these retailers with these worldwide GTA 6 releases. We're thinking
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday they go up for pre-order, right? And we were kind of kicking around in the pre-show, which I usually chop out that audio and put it at the very end after the credits. Our audio listeners can hear that afterwards. Stay after the credits for whatever nonsense we were talking about beforehand. But we were kicking around 3 different SKUs, right? 3 different versions probably, like a regular, a deluxe, and a collector's.
Yeah, more than likely. That seems to be the standard for nowadays.
This is not a standard release, though, is what I was thinking about. Like, they typically... I never told you the story of the bully ball. I was supposed to tell you that after we were playing Halo the other night.
We'll have to do that.
Let me know. Remind me about Rockstar's release that I sold for PS2 that came with a kickball. PS2.
The only thing I can see there being like multiple releases, if they even consider it different SKUs, is like there's the just standard, there's the digital SKU, and then there's like regular deluxe edition, digital deluxe edition, and then the special edition of both as well.
There's going to be one that lets you play 3 days early, right? 5 days early, something like that.
Yeah, more than likely.
They're all going to let you
but they haven't revealed anything.
Digital. No pricing. The rumor has been $100. The rumor's been $100 for a couple of years now, but it's just rumors.
Yeah.
I got a coworker that I know is very excited about this game, and they did their cover art reveal. Did you see that? It was like a hype video almost. And I saw it within probably 5 to 10 minutes of it posting, and it had thousands of views, like not even 100,000 views.
Yeah.
So I wonder what that one's up to now. But everybody immediately latched onto the helicopter in the top left corner. In every box art, there's a helicopter in that top left corner. And I was like, no way. Yeah. And I started looking at them. There's always a helicopter in the top left corner. I was like, damn, that's actually pretty like cool to keep that going across all those titles. That's a neat touch. I'm sure there's something else like hidden in the background that we don't know that's carried over across all these.
Likely.
I guess the helicopter is like the chocobo. There's always chocobos in airships. Some sad news, I guess, to lead off with. This reporting comes from VGC, VideoGamesChronicle.com. Ubisoft co-founder Claude Guillemot dies in plane accident. Ubisoft confirms one of the 5 founding Guillemot brothers has passed away. Claude Guillemot, age 69, co-founded the Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six publisher with his 4 brothers in 1986. Yves Guillemot, who we always see in like press releases and things like that, is the CEO and chairman of Ubisoft. Claude was the president and CEO of Guillemot Corporation, a company specializing in equipment and accessories for PCs, mobile devices, and consoles. On Saturday, Ubisoft confirmed that Claude was involved in a light aircraft crash in La Baule, which left 2 people dead. On June 19th, an aircraft registered Guillemot crashed in a field near La Baule Airport. Confirming it, thoughts and prayers to loved ones. Some more history about the Guillemot brothers is included in this article. Ubisoft Entertainment was founded by the brothers on March 28th, 1986. Ubisoft is older than I am. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
I did know the name Ubisoft was selected to represent ubiquitous software, because I used to say Ubisoft. Ubiquitous Software. So not a great, more somber start to the show for the passing.
I also have to add to
Koala
this.
Kibo.
I also have to add to this. There was another passing. Bobby Prince. I don't know if you saw that one too. He Bobby Prince was a Vietnam vet who also was a composer for several video games. He worked with id Software on things like Wolfenstein 3D, Rise of the Triads, numerous episodes of Commander Keen, and best known for his composing of the iconic soundtrack for Doom and Doom 2.
Oh, wow.
And I
didn't see this anywhere.
At age 81.
Okay.
And his soundtrack was selected for preservation by the Library of Congress this year as well too. So,
hey, he went to he's from Georgia. He went to Athens High School. Graduated from the University of Georgia with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and then attended Emory University. I never knew any of this information. Oh, Wolfenstein 3D had a great soundtrack.
So, yeah, I definitely thought it felt relevant to mention that as well.
For sure. I hadn't worked on a game soundtrack since '96. It looks like.
But he made some amazing soundtracks.
Oh yeah, these are long-term iconic. Cesar could probably chime in on the Commander Keen stuff. I think that he was a big fan of that series. We must have had some sort of id sample pack on that Windows 95 computer we had, because we had Commander Keen and we had Wolfenstein. That's the one my brother and I would play. One was moving the keys and the other one was clicking the mouse to shoot. That's how we played co-op for Wolfenstein 3D. But we did not play much of Commander Keen. That, to me, that was my first, like, not all platformers are like Mario or Sonic.
Yeah.
This is a PC platformer. These things are different animals. Gianna Sisters. And like, I don't know what they're doing over there. And that was the definition of that type of gaming for me for a long time for PCs. Is like, it's not quite right. Something's wrong with it. It's not just a mouse and keyboard. Like, it's not great over there. There's certain things they're good at, but like Warcraft, I love Warcraft, and we love playing Wolfenstein as a two-person single player game, but those platformers are weird.
Yeah, some things have that weird disconnect. It just doesn't feel right.
Jazz Jackrabbit never, to me, was like, oh, this is an awesome game. And then we got Gears of War out of this guy. Two somber notes. Brant, thanks for finding the Bobby Prince one and throwing it in there. That 81 is, I feel like that's still young, but it's better than age 69, right?
Yeah.
I want to make it further than both of those. I feel like I've worked enough, like, already to make it past 81, please. Next up, this is probably the meat and bones of our show, unless we don't have that much to talk about with it.
Probably the biggest story of the week, honestly.
It for sure is, and people are still talking about
everybody's chiming in and has to go in on this.
Valve showed off the Steam machine. Brant, you've linked Chris Gollion's VGC article, but we'll pull some numbers from there. It went up on the Steam store, and then they kind of released their briefings, right? Their press releases. The Steam machine will start with a 512 gigabyte model at $1,049. And there will also be a 512 gig with the Steam controller for $1,128. There will also be, the next step up is the 2 terabyte model that starts at $1,349 without a controller, and $1,428 US with a Steam controller. The 2 extra face plates, they only come in the 2
like
terabyte model. Red fabric and solid fabric walnut. I didn't love either one of those that they showed, right?
No.
This time it's going to be a randomized queue. You register and say you're interested in it, and they're going to let you know if you can get one or not. It's not a, I think they should do this with everything, just about.
And there's other stipulations as well. It's like you have to have had an active Steam account from, X date and have
Nice.
however many purchases, and I don't know if there's any hours of play tied to that, but they went the right route, at least with the queue.
Yeah.
But probably the wrong route as far as pricing goes in everybody's eyes. But I know I'm looking
$1,000
skimming through
question.
the article, and it doesn't seem like they mentioned it here, but I know we've all everybody in our group, as we chat back and forth, saw the original price was probably supposed to be somewhere more around like the 700 to 750 ish range.
That was
and
IGN reporting that.
Of course, the ever-growing AI overlords and their need for RAM and SSD storage has driven the cost of all of that up. So
totally ruined this for us, because I think 750. I think we're all in pretty quickly.
Would have been manageable.
50, yeah. I'm putting an argument to my CFO regarding a $750 purchase. I cannot go to them with a $1,049 or a $1,128. For the show, we said that's a very specific price. Said yes, it is.
And I see people going back and forth because now you've got content creators with them in their hands and they can talk a little bit more about them.
Yep.
And it's underpowered from the PS5 Pro. It's more than the PS5 Pro. In some respects, I think Digital Foundry was I saw some clips from that, and they were showing it against like the base PS5, and sometimes the base PS5 is doing better than the Steam machine. So
I saw that as well.
People are dogging the CPU, people are dogging the VRAM, and of course the price overall. And
they followed up on with a blog post stating this is pretty much, we're not making a profit on this, so it's pretty much they're not adopting the console makers philosophy of taking the hit on the razor to sell you the razor blades, even though they make plenty of money on the razor blades. I'm not sure that wouldn't have been a horrible pivot to make, because the cloud around the whole thing is that is the cost, right? You compare everything to the value proposition of what you can get out of this versus this and how much this is. And when you have a balance on the other side of like all that Steam library, like we have tons of games in our Steam library, and those are tending to be the cheaper ways that we get our new games. It seems like with us, especially like the Steam Deck, well as the Steam Deck tends to play stuff. I think what it's going to end up doing, none of our group is jumping day one. So if you're listening and you're all in on the Steam machine, please let us know in the chat. We'll contribute that to the conversation. But maybe it's that what's the term? The privilege of being able to play other places. But if you're also super invested in that Steam ecosystem, you probably have something that plays this, right? Is this? Or maybe this is the onboarding. Then maybe this is the Trojan horse for people to get this and then start getting a bunch of Steam games, And maybe the excitement's building and the Steam summer sale starts in 2 days. As of this recording, that'll be June 25th. So all your favorite games on your wish list will be 80% off. We need to look at some of the multiplayer games that we've all kicked around doing and see how much they're going to be.
I bought 3 games today on there.
Oh,
one was
pre-sale.
Already. Yeah, well, they're already on sale.
Really?
A couple of the titles that I bought were like 80 or 90% already.
Damn.
They were EA titles. There's EA and like Square Enix
sale.
and a bunch of stuff already. I think it was Burnout Paradise, the remaster.
How much was that?
$4. Oh. Titanfall 2 was a couple dollars.
Does it play on Steam Deck? Oh, okay. I know Titanfall 2 plays on Steam Deck. Yeah. Yeah, you got some winners there.
So I was like, let's just go for it. But yeah, I mean, this is I didn't put it in news, but this was after several days ago now that what was it, that MSI had their announced a handheld as well, and their price for that handheld PC was $1,800.
Good God.
And even one of the execs there, uh the quotes from this article, there's all sorts of stuff talking about he's tried a lot of different things to build relationships and try to get a lot of that memory and stuff cheaper, but it just hasn't happened. And literally one of the quotes from him in this article is, "It will be a tough year for us and the gamers." So, and that was just looking at the when they announced the price for the Steam Deck. I mean, my initial shock was like, "Oh my gosh, that's way higher than I thought it was going to be."
Yeah.
But then my second thought was, "Oh Lord, if this is this piece of hardware, the next generation of Xbox hardware and PlayStation hardware, there's no way that it's not at least starting at 1,000."
Brent, I see them delaying. I see them pushing this back. We saw this around PS5 series console launches. Like that felt like it was a year past when it was supposed to be. That was GPUs, right? That's the gate that we were in then. It wasn't RAM, it was GPUs and CPUs, right? That's what we were battling
semiconductors
6 years ago. Yeah, that's what it was. Because that also, I think, delayed the Switch Pro, like whatever that next tier that kept getting rumored was. Plus, they were selling the hell out of the other ones. Like, there was no need to. It feels like they'll sit and wait and see what happens. And I definitely feel like there's never been a better time to dive into your backlog of what you already have on what you already own gaming-wise.
Yeah.
Hardware-wise.
I don't know. Even because there's been that rumor that they could delay the next generation, but there's also been some talk back and forth, and I guess people saying that, oh no, they're not going to delay it. It's going to be, the end of 2027 or something,
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll know when we know. But the only thing at least saving Sony or Microsoft is the fact that, I mean, let's face it, as big as Steam is as a storefront, the hardware that they've sold is fairly niche.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck has been out several years and has only sold in like the very low millions.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a little over 1 million already. And
with almost there's no marketing. There's no commercials for it. You don't see it advertised at a game. Well, I haven't been to a game store in a long time. Not a traditional retail. It's not sold at Walmart or Target or Best Buy. You don't see them in any retail stores, right? You have to get it through Steam.
No.
Does GameStop sell them? Maybe refurbs?
Maybe secondhand. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, say Steam and Gabe and all of them, Valve, they go to wherever and they're like, yeah, we need however much for even say 100,000 units.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get a different price than Sony, who's going, we're gonna sell 300 million. We need enough to build 300 million.
Right.
So
it's a different ask. They're not players in that space yet.
So I mean, they could be cheaper, and I mean, as far as history has gone, Sony and Microsoft have always, going far back, they always take a loss on the consoles. They always make it up in hardware, or peripheral sales and software sales,
and now subscriptions,
whatever else. Yeah, and now it's games and subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
So online subscriptions and gas games and everything else, right?
Gas games. Yeah, and the article wraps up saying that the pricing directly reflects like the last 6 months of increasing costs and also the number that they're able to produce. They're able to produce less for sale. It feels like they got put into that. Remember the early Steam machines, like the Steam? What did they call those? Steam boxes, or Was it Steam Machine?
It's Steam boxes, Steam machines. Yeah, they were going by like either that. So
those
there
they
were like
did
several.
sell. I remember those being at GameStop.
Yeah.
Are those still competent?
Because there were several different companies.
Yes, they did the 3DO.
Probably not by today.
They went the 3DO route of Samsung can make one, LG can make one. Those I don't know that those companies made those, but and hey, they announced
which it is worth.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it is worth to note. I think we were both about to say the same thing, that the new version of Steam OS, they're just like, we're gonna have it open and you can build your own machine and turn it into a Steam machine. So
I was looking at a Ryzen build today that's like similar specs. It doesn't have the cute, Gabe Cube form factor. They say the hardware is awesome. Like, runs super quiet. It's got a giant. Did you see the Digital Foundry took it apart and showed off the heatsink and everything? Giant fan. Like, it's supposed to be amazing hardware. Just like the Steam Deck. We've loved our Steam Decks, right? Renee, I don't know if Renee's on the show. I think Renee's having issues with this Steam Deck. I can't remember if Cesar mentioned that to just me or all of us, but
he had a memory issue.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see
if it was going to be a hard drive thing or what.
I wonder where he got with that. That'd be a cool update. So wait and see on the Steam machine for us, I think.
Definitely.
God, we have so many games.
And I mean, that's the thing, is I saw so many some big name content creators dumping on it, like just trying to like boot certain things, like, oh, here's the latest Horizon game. Oh, look, it's running like crap on this thing. And I doubt it didn't even look like they went into the settings, because I'm sure if you like limit it to 30 or 40 frames or tweak to the performance or whatever, like you could probably run that game decently. But they were just like ran it. They're like, it runs like crap. If you want to play AAA games, this is not going to do it. And
that's not helpful to anybody.
If you want to play games from a few years ago, it'll do those. But I'm like, they're just dogging on it now because they know the price.
Yeah.
And
that's not helpful for anybody to do that.
Yeah, but honestly, at that price point, you could build a machine a little bit higher specs. If you're going to pay that much, you might as well get the performance out of it you want, right?
Yeah, it's really cool looking though. I really like how it looks.
It is very sleek. It's very nice. It's nice when you have something that, to people that are especially not native PC gamers.
Yeah.
That, they're like, I don't know much about that, or maybe they had a Windows machine and they're like, hated gaming on my Windows machine. You've got to go into the configurations. You got to do this. You're always tweaking settings for this and that, or a game won't play and I've got to update 5 different things just to get it to play, and it just get bogged down all the time instead of just playing the games. That's where this is enticing. It's like, oh, it's nice. This is a product that you just buy, you hook up, and it works, and it's consoleized PC gaming.
I fired up. I've been playing with the Steam Deck mostly recently, and I fired up the ROG Ally again. And I forgot, like, I had a Windows update, I had an Asus update, I had a Windows Store update, I had an Xbox update. I played Windows. And it tanked the battery. The battery on that thing's garbage. It went from, I've got the battery limiter thing on there, so it was around like 79, 80. It was at the max that I set it at. And within probably 15 minutes, it was down to like 42, 43 is what I was looking at. I was just updates.
Damn.
I fired it up to, it's not really games played. I was messing around. There was an update to that ship of Harkinian or whatever, that Zelda Ocarina of Time, like PC. What do they call those? I know the terminology. It's a native Windows port of Zelda.
Yeah.
And it's not a port though. Decomp. It's a recomp for PC. And it looked amazing. I had these great settings and I could never use the controller. So it had an update and I installed that and all it did was like reapply this. I can't do it. It's not games played, it's games fumbled around in. Because I still couldn't do anything, but it runs at like 4K and 60 frames per second. It looks gorgeous and I can't do anything with it. I've got to take the time. I think I'm gonna have to hook it up to like a dock and use mouse and keyboard and try to figure it out from there. I don't know if the install and all that is very handheld friendly. But again, like I'm just tinkering around with it, right? And then I was just playing Windows, so I never actually played any games on that thing. Whereas the Steam Deck, when you fire it up, you're in SteamOS, unless you purposely go to the desktop mode to tinker around in. But time will tell on this thing. It has promise. It still has the dream of like all the emulation stuff that we've been kicking around for the past couple months. And you and Cesar got your Steam Decks loaded with emulators years ago and had great success with that. So I ended up hosing my install somehow, but this stuff's there for Linux, and I think it's gonna be great down the road for what we want to use it for. But that price of that barrier of entry is steep right now in this economy. And they're gonna sell out. Remember we talked about the Steam Deck going up, the OLED models going up $250 a piece? Like the 1 terabyte was like $900 something dollars. They sold out of that SKU. So I don't know if they just had 50 of them and they sold out at that price for 50 of them, but they were gone. We got anything else more on the Steam machine? We already talked about how it bodes on PS6 and whatever that Xbox Helix, Project Helix is. It just doesn't look good. And I was hoping we would get, and maybe the Steam machine helps ease this in, where we get diminishing returns on some of these tech specs, right? Like it's always, what's the best processor we can get? What's the best GPU we can get? But we've seen like Steam Deck optimized versions of games that you would think when the Steam Deck came out had no business running as well as they are
right
for that architecture. Like they're optimized. When the Steam Deck came out, or like, you got yours like 6 months or a year after they came out? Brant, if you want to, you'll be able to play. Yeah. You'd be able to play Resident Evil 9 on that thing. You would have been floored. Oh, yeah. Like, no way. And so many games that come out that aren't these graphics hogs do just fine. So, and the scalable options really help out. I think it's that. Capcom, is it the MT engine, MT framework? Or RE engine is what they're using now?
RE engine.
That scales so well. They're just the first company that came to mind, but you're starting to get Steam Deck settings in games, so that's been going for a while. I'm hoping, since we're not getting Steam Machine, it drives that verification process, right? They say, hey, this is verified. Yeah. This is verified for one of these more lower powered devices. Brant was noting Digital Foundry kind of pointed out like some of these things run better on PS5. They just do. And so maybe you get a build of that game built more towards that spec. Again, though, you gotta sell these things, right? There's got to be a use case for spending the development costs in doing this. And I always think about the Wii U. It's the cart and the horse, or the eggs in the basket. Like, there's no compelling software. We don't want to buy the thing, and nobody's buying the thing because there's not compelling software. And nobody wants to make software for the thing because nobody's buying it. And it just it's like a back and forth play of trying to get these things adopted so that the need is there, so that developers feel like they want to make a version for that. Time will tell. I love the flexibility, like so many Prime Day deals on some of those controllers that we were talking about like last week.
Oh yeah.
I think I moved my box somewhere. I almost bought another one. I sent one to Buish, but he never plays the Steam Deck docked. He only plays in handheld, which is a great use case. I did that. That was my joke for the Switch for so long. Like you don't, that thing's just a charger. You just plug it into the charger. You don't do anything with the dock, but there's multiple ways to play, and it's great having cheaper controllers. Like they're less expensive. They're not cheaper for PC.
So many people were dogging, it doesn't even come with a controller. It's like, it's Bluetooth and it's a PC. You can use any controller. You can use the controllers that you already have. Like
That's the
That's
key.
why it's not a big issue.
Yeah. And I probably, like, I'd never even really considered one of the ones with the controller. Like, I could probably get that down the road. I did think of this, and I know it's a long ways out, most likely. My 2 Steam Decks are refurbs. I didn't get either one until there was a deal on refurbished on those. So I've had really good luck with refurb Valve products. So maybe that, cost of that barrier drops if they start having refurbished ones.
Yeah.
Because they're like new. They're almost like Apple products. I got both the boxes right here, as a matter of fact. It's weird that they're... Brand, I'm starting to be like you. I can just reach for whatever. Oh, controller's here. Oh, Steam Deck boxes.
Everything's right here.
Yeah. Remember when they were shipping them in the mail and it just had... Make sure there's no addresses on there. It just has like the big battery thing. And people were having their Steam Decks stolen because it's... You get the battery indicator and then the Valve logo on the box. That's how they ship these things. I think they got better. No, my OLED refurb from, what was that, like a year and a half ago? It also it's the same thing. I hate it for people.
It's like, how hard is it to ship it in a different box? Like, just put another piece of cardboard over it.
Yeah, just slap it in something else.
Wrap it, something.
Got to. It tells you the model and how many gigs the model is and everything on the side. It's like, geez. Steal me. I see those I'm part of the Steam Deck subreddit. I see those all the time on there.
It's begging to be left on the truck indefinitely.
Yeah, PS5
with your PS5.
Shit's still riding around. My friend posted on Instagram she lost something to FedEx and it was out of the Ellenwood office, which is where a lot of our stuff comes from.
Always.
And I was like, you just wait. I got a story for you. She was like, no fucking way. He's always play it up like it's, our bit is always
the truck to this day.
Yep. All their bit has been that it's still on the truck riding around and they're running up FIFA Ultimate Team and all that sort of stuff. You know what? I got my money back. I hope they're enjoying it. It was dishonest, but hey, this one's on the house. Walmart.com paid for this one. Or whoever I financed through. It's their job to get it to me. I bought it. It's their job to get it to me. This is the agreement we have in place. That feels like not that long ago, but also it was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You feel like it's a controversial take, but we're talking about this stuff and we're talking about the Steam machine and value, right? You feel like you've gotten full value out of your next gen consoles, your PS5 and your Xbox Series consoles. That you could not, let me rephrase this, that you could not achieve on a 1X or a PS4 Pro.
I don't know. I mean, the controller was definitely the biggest improvement visually wise.
Great.
I mean, there were some games that were like really, really stunning.
Yeah.
But I feel like they really, I look at my collection of stuff and I mean, I guess it's just me because that's what I buy. The majority of the games I have over here on the shelf are remakes, remasters, and there's like a handful of the exclusives, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
or
I don't feel like
your preferred way to play
like
it. Because you have that system and you have that controller. Like the aforementioned Resident Evil 9. It did not come out for PS4, right? Yeah. So then you're deciding between Switch 2, PS5 series, Steam Deck. You're on that route. I keep thinking of like Final Fantasy 16 and that Ratchet and Clank game, which I loved. And those were early. Those were early releases. Astrobot's phenomenal. When they've really done it, they've nailed it. But I could play all those except Astrobot on Steam Deck.
Yeah.
But I could not on PS4.
I think a lot of that's just been the weird growing pains with this generation and the wayward nature of management for both Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah.
Because we got Microsoft doing like, oh, you don't even need an Xbox. Why do we have an Xbox? You can use this TV. You can use this laptop. Use your phone. And Sony, I don't know. It seems I guess just easiest to blame Jim Ryan with buying and investing in all those live service games that didn't pan out.
The gas games,
putting all the eggs in one basket,
cutting Japan studio
instead of highly relying on your first party studios to do what they do best. In some of their narrative driven first person action games, or whatever. Just, and I know there's been several things come out lately about like first party Sony sales have dipped, but it's like they also haven't had the releases that they've had in past years.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at that chart, that like pinnacle of that chart before it dips, you had like God of War remake and Horizon and Miles Morales and Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man 2, all this, and then it just like dips because when's the last like Sony first party game that we got that wasn't Last of Us remake, Last of Us remake 2,
Was it the Ghost
that
Ghost of
also
Tsushima
released
follow-up?
I'm about to say, yeah, like we just got Ghost of Yotai was the latest one, and that's not going to PC.
Yeah,
but a lot of the ones that did went to PC. They didn't wind up selling well on PC, at least by their metric. So
it had to have been. I don't know if it was worth the
there
port,
was
like Nix's port.
Yeah, but there was definitely a stark drop off. But there was also, they just didn't have very many first party games actually come out.
I think that's been the worst part to me.
Oh, they started on PSVR 2 and like out the gate the first 2 years, started putting some stuff on there, and then they were just like, oh well, it's not doing that great, so let's just abandon it. So
yeah,
and
because we were getting those in the game catalog too.
Yeah, they were even throwing them in the game catalog, and they did that for maybe half a year to a full year, and then all of a sudden they just stopped adding them in the game catalog.
I feel like with the Xbox, because we could be playing Old Man Halo on a 1 or 1X, right? Yes. With no issue.
Yep.
I know, especially looking back, Game Pass was a driver for that. Like all the stuff that they had blocked up, and we were seeing Perfect Dark and Gears and all these things. It was going to be the best place to play so many of those titles, and that was a driver for that. And then when Game Pass value proposition flopped for me, that wasn't like, I think of it as a backwards compatible machine. It's turning into like it's an Old Man Halo machine for sure, but I'm looking at, well, this is the best place to play Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey and some of these other things that are kind of stuck in this ecosystem. Or Splinter Cell, like those versions of Splinter Cell for Xbox and Chaos Theory and stuff. So, was it you and I talk? Oh, when I showed you that Killzone guide last week, that is a duplicate. So if you're with me on this Killzone playthrough, you have a strategy guide with your name on it that can
let's go.
That can guide you on your playthrough. I know you like a strategy guide too. I got it. Yeah. That was one of the reasons I got it. Like, it had those Brothers in Arms ones, but I was like, ooh, Killzone. And then I go to put it on the shelf, and I'm going to be putting it right next to Killzone. I was like,
already there.
Damn it. This always gets me. Always gets me. But I don't have guides for Killzone 2 and 3. I've been trying to hunt those out. All right, Brant, bring us home with we got 2 more stories.
Do you want more games to put on your shelf next to the games you already have of these games?
Brant, do these say not for resale, and I probably paid 99 cents for them in a bin?
Mm-hmm. Well, Sega had a little presentation today featuring Sonic the Hedgehog and celebrating his 35th anniversary. Part of this is they are re-releasing the original Sonic the Hedgehog for Genesis and Mega Drive, as well as Sonic 2. These are on actual physical cartridges.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
This is an IM 8-bit anniversary package. They're $100. But it, yeah. Comes with the translucent cartridges, so that has like a translucent blue for Sonic 1 and 2 is of course orange for Tails.
This I couldn't put that together, and yes, that is orange. I think when I looked at it before, I thought it was red for some reason. Okay, I get it.
No. According to I Am 8-Bit, 1 in 8 cartridges sold will come in a special Chaos Emerald version.
I gotta buy 8 so I can see if I can get one of those.
Each copy comes packed with full color illustration booklet featuring restored artwork and new forward housing in custom packing design.
Are those clamshell style? Is that just like the original Genesis ones? I don't know. The Genesis went through like 3 or 4 different like rounds of packaging.
They're up for pre-order and will ship in waves later this year. It does note that I Am 8-Bit previously launched similar legacy packages for classic games such as Street Fighter 2, Mega Man X, Mega Man 2, Earthworm Jim, Excavator, Battletoads, Disney's Aladdin, and as well as Disney's Lion King. As part of the celebration, Sega also announced that Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition was coming to Switch 2 today, which had been going around everywhere as people were already finding them in stores on shelves out in the wild, just not available for purchase.
Also clearance. Cesar sent me a screenshot of one at Walmart with the clearance, the yellow clearance tag on it. The caption said, "Wait, this isn't even out. It's already clearance." I'm curious to see what's different about that version. How much better it runs.
Featuring improved graphics and all post-release content added to the 2022 version. They also announced a couple collections for Nintendo Switch. They have the Sonic Classic Collection, which includes Sonic Origins, Sonic Mania, Sonic Superstars, and the Modern Sonic Collection will bundle Sonic Frontiers, Sonic Colors, Ultimate, and Sonic Forces. Both collections will be released physically in October for $50 US.
Okay.
$49.99.
Brant, just a quick search. It looks like you can get a box copy of Sonic 2 for $15 to $20, and a box copy of the original Sonic the Hedgehog for $30 to $35 if you have to have one of these. So $200 is a little off the mark, even with the bonuses and stuff in there.
Yeah,
I think I have both of these in box. I'll check after the show. That's cool they're doing this though, and I saw that news, but I didn't know the news about those other Sonic collections. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. But yeah, this happy 35th Sonic. Hopefully we have 35 more. Keep eating those chili dogs and collecting those Chaos Emeralds.
I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Gotta go fast.
What is Sonic the Hedgehog doing? Body by Chili Dog. When did the Chili Dog thing start? Is that the cartoon? Is that the
yeah, it came in one of the cartoon things, but I just know that that's one of the odd things that Sonic is known for, is among some other bizarre things, is the chili dog. Sonic loves chili dogs. I think the clip that I he was trying to give the baby a chili dog. He's like, give the baby a chili. They find a baby
in the cartoon.
Feeding a chili dog. Yeah.
Babies eat chili dogs. Don't do that. It'll give the baby diarrhea. That's the only bad idea.
Is it a varsity chili dog?
Ooh, a system cleaner. As long as it's not a Pasta Max chili dog. I'm not eating no chili dogs with Pasta Max. That's like a triple doozy.
Oh, God.
That thing's taking you down and out and then back down and then back out. Last but not least, from Forbes, Xbox forces PS5 players to jump through hoops to play Halo Campaign Evolved. Update. Xbox admits error. So, in a round of online FAQs and ask me anything sort of stuff, Halo Campaign Evolved, Combat Evolved. Campaign Evolved comes out next month, like a month away. And they released a FAQ of like, well, what are we going to need for this? The FAQ officially said initially, for cross progression in any form, you need a unique Microsoft account, and no matter what platform you play on. However, if you want to play split screen on an Xbox console, the second player needs their own Microsoft account. If you are the PlayStation player and playing split screen on the PS5, both accounts will need PlayStation Plus and be linked to a Microsoft account. That's a Freudian slip because this is what I dealt with when I got my kids set up for. It's the exact same scenario. Yeah. And the PlayStation Plus subscription is also needed for online co-op. On Steam, you need a linked Microsoft account. The wild part here, Forbes notes, is that what they are saying is that is for local co-op. You need an online account, which they note bends the mind when you try to justify that. So, my brother and I, 2002, maybe spring 2003, get all of our coins together. We'd save coins in this big jug. We roll them up, take them to the bank. We get our cash. We buy an Xbox. Brent, why are we buying an Xbox when we have a PlayStation 2 and we have a GameCube?
Specifically for Halo.
We have to have Halo. What are we going to do when we get Halo? We are going to play that game.
Split screen co-op.
Split screen co-op. If you had told me we would have to have done this, like I'm thinking about doing this with my kids and this nightmare scenario pops up again. I'm like, I just did this with mine. It made a little bit of sense with Minecraft because they're playing it across these different things. But to have like both tiers, and actually, now that I've said that, we had Minecraft for Switch. That's why we didn't do it for Switch. I would have had to pay Switch Online for both of them and create the Microsoft account. And I took the easy way out and bought it for iPads, which they already owned, free online, and still made the Microsoft accounts. So it's the PlayStation angle of this that's fucking everything up. Mm-hmm. But they have since clarified. Where's the update? There it is. From the @Halo. We incorrectly stated that PlayStation Plus is required for local co-op split screen play. Local split screen co-op requires a PlayStation account for each player, but does not require a PlayStation Plus account. Whew. So they went 10 monster steps and they walked back 2 of those monster steps. So there are only 8 monster steps forward. This just... everything about what they've done with this game so far is like, get people back into Halo, make them care, reinvent the campaign for people who've played it before, give them skulls and multipliers and different ways to play it, right? Bring that spark back. And then you get something like this, and we've talked about barrier of entry this whole episode, right? The cost of the Steam machine. These weird online account bullshit things with something that should just work. You should just pop it in and have that same spark. All of this Xbox nostalgia of you can get a translucent Series X and look, it reminds you of the thing you played on. You can't do it that way, and you should. They should be allowing you to do these things. But this is for, you have to have a PlayStation account for each player. Which I wish you could do how many times do we play Squasha and Squasha 1, right? Squasha 1 doesn't even pay for online. It's just they're piggybacking on Squasha. But famously, you just the first reply to all these was like, back in my day, you just hit X to enter match or to add player, or if you played an arcade game at home, you spammed it so you had enough coins for that second player. It just
I miss the days of press start to join.
That's it.
That's all it said was up there.
Press start to join, and you're like, are you plugged in?
Your barrier of entry was buying another controller.
Right. Usually, if you're pressing start to join, you are doing so from a Mad Catz version of whatever controller it is. Yeah.
If you were smart, you brought your controller over from your house to your friend's house, so you didn't have to use the shitty controller.
My friend Andy that I would play games with, I would walk or bike to his house, and we would play stuff. And he introduced me to all sorts of N64 and Resident Evil, and we played the PS2 for the first time there. He never had the garbage second player. He never had the Interact or the Mad Cats or anything. It was that I can remember. Like, I always had a first party. There was always another first party controller. But he had a brother like me, so I had a brother and we had the shitty third party ones. We did, but I've probably told this story on the show before. We had our N64, right? And we wanted new ones. We had the gray and purple, the atomic purple that came with that pack. And they weren't worn out because I still have those controllers, but we wanted new ones because they had other colors. So we had Mario Tennis, and we talked my mom and her husband into getting controllers for them so they could play. They maybe played it once, and then we had new controllers. So I was like, we knew exactly how this was going to play out. We talked them into it. But back then, controllers weren't $70, $80. It was $20 or $30 even. But that little bit of savings over that third party, you'd get the third party one because it saved you $5 or it saved grandma $8 or something. Mm-hmm. Oh, it works the same. Some of those are kind of neat spin-offs though. Like we were joking about it. I bought the Mad Cats. Mad Cats made a Duke Xbox controller, and I bought one of those off of eBay just to kind of mess around with it. It's a smaller Duke maybe, but it's cool. Look at it's translucent blue. Like, we don't get those translucent cool looks anymore, except for that Xbox and that controller coming out. I might get that controller.
I remember
the controller's sexy.
I remember my dad, at least on 2 different occasions, trying 2 different versions of a PS1 wireless controller. And back then it was using just that like IR technology, the same thing as a freaking TV remote.
Oh yeah.
And so any little bit of signal would literally just interrupt it, and they were so crap. I think he wound up taking both of them back.
Yep.
Because he got the one, and then like it was a couple months later or later in the year, like, oh, there's this other one, and it, it's supposed to be better, and it tried it, and nope, this sucks. What's up, Box?
Yeah, Box is here. My brother and I lucked out that Christmas. We got the GameCube, which Star Fox Adventures had just come out, so that's probably 2002. We got all of those back to back to back. The GameCube was first. And then I traded in a PS1 and some garbage games for a PS2, maybe put like $40 towards it. And then we got the Xbox probably 6 months after that. I had a job, I was starting to make money, so it was easy to get those. And you had greatest hits, right? We paid either 20 or $30 for Halo. I paid $20 for Kingdom Hearts when it came out. I paid $20 for Final Fantasy X. Like, these greatest hits games were such a great way to build your library fast. Another thing we don't get anymore is like,
right,
man, they already sold, was it 500,000 copies for PS2 maybe? Or 750,000? There's a barrier to reach greatest hits, and you would get that fast sometimes. Or you'd have these weird things like I've talked about getting Splinter Cell for the Xbox. It was like $6. They dropped the price of Splinter Cell for the Xbox so fast after it came out. Damn, where was I going with that?
Once they made their money back from the game, they discounted it.
Yeah, really quick. And we were probably getting another one in that franchise that year or the next year. So it segued you into like, how many times did Ratchet and Clank go greatest hits? And then that was right in time for you to get the new one right after that. They had this cadence of releases and content and just good, varied experiences. Here's what I was getting to. We got the GameCube that year with one controller because we got Star Fox Adventures. We also got a gift card. And in one transaction, we got Time Splitters 2. We got the carrying case for the GameCube, which was like this padded thing where you put 2 controllers in each end. And we got the Wavebird. So the Wavebird was like one of our first purchases. And then I think right after that, we got a second Wavebird because eventually we were traveling around with that carry case with the two Wavebirds. It was awesome. Played so much fucking Time Splitters 2. Brent, there's a chance. Oh, we lost those memory cards. I don't know if I ever told that story on the show about a friend of the show, Joel, shipping us those GameCube memory cards with the content on them. The potential Time Splitters 2 content that Brant and I might have had saves on from 20 years ago. They lost him. It was the mail lost him, and they gave him.
Dang.
It was
USPS.
It was what was that? It was UPS. Yeah.
It was UPS.
I think it was UPS because he didn't warranty them, but it was like it was above just like shipping. Like he didn't USPS them, I don't think. But they gave him like $140 for 2 or 3 GameCube memory cards, whatever it was he shipped to me. So I guess he got some money out of it, but man, that would have been awesome to have a stream and upload some of those. Where was I going? I completed that story. My mind gets sidetracked. It's the Wavebirds. God, the GameCube was awesome.
The Wavebirds.
But I in games played, and it's going to come up. It's an original Xbox game. Everything I read, the GameCube one was the way to play. I can't play first-person shooters on the GameCube anymore. There's something with that little yellow nub. I just don't like using it. If we have other options, I'm like, right. Yeah, we played so much Time Splitters just because that's what we had that had 4 controller ports at the time. We didn't have the Xbox, and carrying a GameCube back and forth to your friend's house is totally different than taking an Xbox everywhere you want to go. But is that it? Is that it for news? That's it for the Halo story?
That's it.
Box, you were a little bit late. We were talking about Halo Campaign Evolved. Originally requiring a PlayStation Plus account for both players of a split screen session in Halo Campaign Evolved on PlayStation, but they walked that back. You just need an Xbox account for each of those. And you're okay, which is kind of shitty and still kind of okay. I don't know. Like we said, we walked it back 2 steps, but it's still 8 steps the wrong direction. I hope this thing does so well. I really do. I hope people are like, man, I get this Halo thing now after all these years. I hope it really does excite people. Box says ridiculous. I knew that would be your take, and you were absolutely correct. Ridiculous! Exclamation. Nothing will drive you back to old school gaming like current gaming, right? If we're of that ilk. Box says he has it on OG and 360 are good. Yes. Man, I want to see how this looks, and I want to feel like we talked about the DualSense in the PS5 earlier. I want to feel how that Needler feels on that DualSense with the restrictive triggers and stuff. Are you getting it for PlayStation, Brant? Maybe I'm assuming. Are you getting Campaign Evolved?
I don't know. I'm undecided. It would be nice to go ahead and do like a 4-player co-op campaign. I know that's something we could all get into, especially since SR technically hasn't beaten the game.
Here it goes. He's not here, and you got to pick up the flag and run it for him. Lost the lead.
Yep, I have to because he would have to mention it. I know he would. Because somebody had to throw a grenade. But
it was perfectly timed. And I'm like, don't say anything.
The weird account things and the fact that like the game isn't on the disc for a game that is campaign only. I'm gonna get it, but I just haven't decided for which console and that. So because I would like to replay it with this the new Code of Pain. It does look good.
Yeah,
just not in third person.
Oh god, that looks like it's a monster view. Renee's here too. I'm asking if he did any repairs on his Steam Deck. I'm resigned, and I've done this with Gears too, because I also want Gears of War E-Day, the new Gears game. They don't put the full title on discs anymore. I'm not playing that game, and I don't get any sort of discount on the physical unless we're gonna see some sort of thing like the retailers are doing with Walmart or with Nintendo releases, right? Like Walmart and Target, they're having Amazon. They'll have Star Fox or Yoshi Mysterious Book, like $10 off on the physical beforehand. Like there's an incentive to get that one then, right? And then it's like, okay, do I want to put the disc in for that back and forth? I'm totally at peace, and I've never been like this. That's not like a subscription service thing, like paying for it. I'm going to buy Gears of War digital on Xbox. I'm going to get it. I'm not paying for Game Pass. I'm not going to go that route unless it's like a free trial, like a free upgrade or something. I'll just buy it digital. They're going to update it. They're going to change stuff, and I'll just have that license.
Yep.
If they take it from me, it'll be 10 years from now, and the disc will be $5. And I'll hope that when I pop a disc in, it pulls it back off the server, right? And Halo, I want to have that ready to go, midnight, preload. I never thought I'd be this guy, but it makes sense. The incentives are way better than like the physical. And I never thought it would shift that way. And I never thought I would be the defender of like, it just doesn't make sense.
It's just because they're pushing it. They're pushing it that way. It doesn't have to be that way.
Right. I got driven to this by,
especially for a game like this.
Right. Cost potentially more. Like it's Prime week right now. You can get Xbox and PlayStation cards discounted. So you're getting a deal there. I think Costco has them. I want to say Amazon has them. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're getting away from that. And you broke me with the Halo Infinite disc. That did something to my soul. You know how I am about landing and having all those discs and having them on hand and everything. And you just, it's a coaster. It's an unlock key. It's not a complete coaster. But that broke something.
500 something megabytes on the disc or whatever it was.
Yeah. Box is noting about Halo flag dropped over and over and over. Like, remember the people running faster, like throwing the flag ahead of them? Wait for a sale. Yeah, you're not wrong. Renee's gonna fix his Steam Deck Friday, he said. And Box says mega sale or not at all. Yeah, I want to see it. I'm such a fan, and I think we'll all of us, like, we play together, so I think that'll be a fun stream with all of us. But with things the way they are, I have been driven back into old school gaming. Thinking inside the box, I'm waiting for this episode to come up on your show. Games acquired. I procured Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the original Xbox with some of the most god-awful, creepy box art you've ever seen in a game. Box, I need the deep dive on your show about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from High Voltage. This is a High Voltage game. This may not be a bad video game. I know. Brant's coming around. Brant, you could also...
You had me disgusted until you said High Voltage.
I'm partially in. You can also play on your HD TV in 720p from that original Xbox. He says hidden gem. Just kidding. So must not be that great. High Voltage is a studio though. They're a accomplished studio. Did they do the Conduit games, or am I confusing them with somebody else? I gotta look this up real quick because now, like, I recognized it, but I can't.
I don't know.
Maybe if it was on like a multiple choice thing. God, this iPad went to shit. It's so laggy. It's bad. I tap and I wait, and it's like 3 or 4 seconds. I'm like, what's happening here? High Voltage Software, Injustice: Gods Among Us.
Okay.
Another Among Us game. All right, High Voltage. They did White Men Can't Jump for the Atari Jaguar. My absolute all-time favorite Jaguar game. Not to totally derail us. Who did I see? Rebellion. They do like Sniper Elite and... All right, we're going in the weeds here. I was watching The Mummy yesterday. Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz. Like one does, right? And there's a video game. There's a PS1 game called The Mummy. That's like $50 or $60, but it looks good. It looks like a great action adventure. And I was like, who made that? And I was looking at Rebellion. Rebellion was like the rare for 64 for the Atari Jaguar. They did Checkered Flag. There was a couple other things, and they had a bunch of stuff in development before the Jaguar got like pulled, the plug pulled on it. But they were doing a lot of stuff. Tempest 2000 for the Sega Saturn. They did that port. I'm back to High Voltage Software. I think it's Conduit. I'm just trying to get there. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. So I guess there's a bunch of like cartoon games. Go Diego,
I played
go.
That back in the day.
There it is, the Conduit. I got there finally. They did Iron Man 2 for the Wii and the PlayStation Portable. Yeah, Box, White Man Can't Jump got a game. I was shocked also. They did The Conduit. They did Connect Star Wars. Remember the dancing stormtroopers and Wookiees and stuff?
Han Solo. Han Solo.
Oh, they also did Zone of the Enders HD collection for PS3 and 360. Interesting.
Okay.
Injustice: Gods Among Us for WB. Mortal Kombat X for Worlds or for Microsoft Windows. Is that Mortal Kombat 10 or Mortal Kombat X?
10.
10? Okay. Yeah, and then just some random stuff like Mortal Kombat for Windows, Saints Row 4, Re-Elected, Amazing Spider-Man 2 for Nintendo 3DS. Yeah, mixed bag, says Box.
Very mixed bag.
After my completion of Medal of Honor Frontline for the PlayStation 2, I watched Digital Foundries does a retro rewind or something, I think is one of their retro show podcasts. But after 007 First Light, they did a special on Bond games. And having never beaten any of these, I'm going to go through some of these as time allows. And I started with 007 Agent Under Fire. Box, have you done a podcast episode on this one? So as Brant alluded to, like, we used to get different engines and gameplay types, and just everything didn't feel like, every first-person shooter didn't feel like Call of Duty. Every racing game didn't feel like Forza Horizon. Like, it was all varied, crazy stuff. And like, even in this game, in that Digital Foundry episode, they dive into, like, there's two different studios making engines. Like, there's driving sections in the game, and there's the shooting parts, and they were made by two different developers. So you have this like interweaving of game types, and when the game starts, it's the first person shooter. You kind of have to sneak into this base and link up with an agent that's being held hostage. And there's multiple ways to play it. It's really straightforward, but they kind of give you the illusion of like an open world option. Like as soon as you start the game off, you can either use your Q, all the Q devices from Bond. You can either use the Q laser to like take the lockout, or you can use a Q claw and like grapple shot up onto the top and sneak in that way. So I ended up playing both methods. I'll tell you why later on. So I'm playing the original Xbox.
Oh, no.
And I start sending Brand screenshots because I get down at the bottom of this base, and there's like a submarine, and there's sharks like making laps around the submarine. And I'm just looking around, and the textures, it's original Xbox game. This came out on PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox. The textures aren't amazing, but the frame rate is solid, and they've totally pulled off the art style. Like as soon as you get into it, it's not Pierce Brosnan. So as you can tell from the cover, it's they don't have, but it's like it's Pierce Brosnan. We're so close to this being Pierce Brosnan, but it's not. And I think they got the license for him in the next game. And then the second mission, so you save the agent, and then you have to make a getaway in a car. And the next level is a shooting level. Like she's driving the car, and you're shooting things around you, helicopters, and there's guys that get in your way that you have to clear the path for the car. You meet Q at the end, or R, the successor to Q, because the original Q was like in poor health in between the movie before this and like the movie after this. Before you had what was it, John Cleese was R. What did they call you, R? And I think that ended up, or did he take the Q mantle? Did he end up being the new Q? I used to know these Bond movies back and forth. I was a huge Bond fanatic.
Yeah,
I think I talked about this on another show, but I would get the tapes when they re-released everything. I was getting the tapes at Sam's Club for $5. I would get in there and hope there's a new one. I'm like, yes. And I watched them sequentially that way. It was like, oh man, I used to be able to rattle off the names, the theme songs, the villains. Bond was my shit. And I should not have been allowed to watch those movies at like, maybe I was. Yeah, they hit at the right time. They were like the nicknames for the characters, and that would be spoofed in Austin Powers later on. Like Mrs. A lot of vagina. I'm so glad Austin Powers is coming back. But the same innuendo jokes, like she's like, however will I repay you for saving me? And he was like, oh, I can think of some ways. And then that cuts into the next mission. I'm like, oh, this is just Bond. This is that Bond type writing. So I played those two missions maybe 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay. They're score based. I'm not playing them this way, but there's like
arcadey.
It is very arcadey, and there's bond moments. So I would do certain things like I grapple shot it to the top. Well, the first time I did it, I lasered off that laser. And I said that to myself too when I saw the sharks down there. There's like sharks with lasers. And there was a sniper. So I go in that chamber, and the sniper is watching the girl in the submarine, because if I don't get to her in time, the submarine's going to go down and she's tied to it. So I see the laser of the sniper rifle, and I see sharks, and I'm like, this is just like the Austin Powers bit in story form. So I play those 2 levels, I think is what I'm getting at. And I turned off the Xbox. I was like, I played at lunch. I was like, man, this is good. I'm going to come back to this. No. And I see there's like 11 levels. And in the options, I had new mission, load mission, and save mission. And then I had to change the control scheme, because the first control scheme is just the left stick going, I don't know, it's on that one axis. You know what I'm talking about? And then you strafe with the right stick. And I was like, I'm not playing this. So I exited out, and I tried the second scheme, and it's what we're used to. It still has a weird, like if you look down scope, it takes you in a mode where you're then moving the reticle around. Like nothing else moves, but you're looking down scope and you're moving the reticle around with the left stick. It's funny, man, but it's different. And I just played a game from this year from Medal of Honor Frontline. They're totally different first person shooters. And I'm trying to learn these mechanics and stuff. So, later on in the evening, I come down and I'm like, and I fire it up and I go to load mission, and it says like, remember when you would save on the Xbox, it's like 50,000 blocks available. I'm like, okay, it's in here. It's like no saves found. I'm like, what the fuck? What do I have to? Oh, there's no auto save or anything. After every single mission, you're going in there and hitting save.
Gotta resave it.
Not only that, it asks you to pick the name. So it's like, what save profile, Richard? There's already a game here. Do you want to overwrite? Yes. And then I'm back at the naming thing, and I just have to go back down to done and keep it as Richard and save over that. Save over that level. So I had another first person shooter level after that, and then I had another racing one that was totally different. It wasn't like nobody was driving and I was shooting. I was driving this time. And it was kind of a semi-open world, like a Grand Theft Auto style map. Like I saw the map up in the corner with all the street grids and stuff. And there were Q weapons that I could pick up. And I couldn't damage the van because there was like some drug vials on it. I had to like paralyze it. Like I had to up there with escort missions. There was also don't destroy this thing, disable this thing so that you can then, I can remember them from Crimson Skies and like all sorts of games. You had the escort mission, and then you had the disable this vehicle. Yeah. So that's the element. And Grand Theft Auto was famous for this too. Like, don't blow the thing up. Just damage it enough to where you can take out the triads or whatever. And I died on that one a couple times because I either got killed because there's other things flying around shooting at you, and I'm just trying to take out this one thing, or I destroyed the van one time. And it's like, Bond, we needed that. We're calling you back to base. And I have to do it again. I was like, okay. But it's, man, I'm having so much fun with it. And it's like just this variety. And it brings back like renting a game. I got access to these by either playing the demo or renting something and trying to beat these levels before I had to take it back. Right. Or I borrowed it from somebody like, I see Brand at school on Monday. I got to take Brand his disc back because I know he's playing it, or now he's moved on to the multiplayer with his friends or something. But man, it's so much fun and it's really good. Pierce Brosnan. I can't wait till it's not Pierce Brosnan, but it's introducing. The story's great. It starts off with like this low level person who's working for somebody else, who's uncovering something from somebody else. A major character already died. And I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And M comes over the phone. She's like, Bond, there's nothing you can do. You have to keep going. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me process this. Like, this is a big moment in game storytelling. M's all about the mission. She's sending me straight on to the next one. But I have the strategy guide here, and it breaks down like different ways that you can go through the missions and such. And it's just not, these are very linear. They really did the Lord's work in David Hodgson. I'm going to shout out to David Hodgson because he did the Lord's work in padding out some of these screenshots and things. And I don't know. Could you have written a guide back in the day? Could you have gone through a game and taken screenshots and broken down and had it ready for release? Like you were getting this day of. I sold so many guides by saying, "Hey, if you buy it today, you get it 10% off with the game." Or come back. They wouldn't tell you this, but you could come back in a week or two with your receipt and return it and rebuy with the guide if you absolutely had to have it.
And most of those guides were actually really well done too. So
yes, and they're full of. I know Box is going to chime in on some of the guide talk. They're full of like developer interviews and like side stories, and there's bios for the characters. Like gamers today may not know we got instruction manuals with games, and we would open the game and pour through that initially, so you would figure out some of these things. I probably wouldn't have made that save mistake if it hadn't been for that. But like I was saying, there's multiple paths. The first one, I grappled up onto the building and walked down and entered that way. And it didn't change anything, but it felt different, right? Like if I had spent money on it, or if I beat it before I had to take it back to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or whatever, that would give me some more replay value. That's what replay value was then, is replaying those missions. Score based. This is what I'll touch on. And then I've pretty much talked about all the gameplay elements in this. You'll have bond moments, like when you grapple, or there was a specific thing that I shot on that mission where I was talking about where she was driving and I was shooting. If I shot like this tanker, and you get the da-dun, 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 you get the bond thing, and 007 pops up in the corner. And then you unlock stuff based off of the score that you did at the end of the. It's not abrasive. Like it's not built. You're not seeing like points pop above a headshot or anything. But it really makes it cool, and it adds to, again, that replay value. And then at the end of the first one, it was like you unlock the golden gun. So I didn't even apply it. The next level, that normal like PPK or whatever that weapon is, was like a golden gun version. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. And it just applied to the next, the skin. Oh, it's unlockable in the game. I didn't pay anything extra. It's on the disc from
you didn't have
2002.
Didn't have to pay.
How old is this? Because this is the first one from that generation of games. It says 2002. So same year as Medal of Honor Frontline. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's the golden gun that I unlocked that you can see on that screenshot I'm showing for the
I can kind of see that.
The video. These ladies on the back of the box art, they're twins of some kind. I met them at a mountain ski resort. I was there to do some reconnaissance, and they walked away. I'm in front of this big picture window, like ski resort and snow and everything. And so they're walking away, and they're like, Mr. Bond, why don't you stay here? Oh, I got a different name because I'm a spy at this point. And it's like, Mr. Somerset. Mr. Somerset, why don't you stay and enjoy the view? And they're walking away in like latex pants and stuff. And Pierce Brosnan says, oh, I already am. It's like, yeah, here we go. Fucking Bond shit, man. But I've tried to do crazy shit. I've tried to do stuff like the laser that I was talking about, that you aim at the lock to like pop off. You remember that mechanic from games? Like either shoot the lock to open the gate, or I think I did it in some of the Medal of Honor missions. But then like I was walking down a hallway immediately after that, and I still had it equipped, and there was a guard off in the distance, and I was like, can I laser this dude? Like, will it work if I just like hold up my watch and like aim it at this guy? It didn't do anything, and he never reacted to like this beam coming straight at him. But it was fun.
Quit it.
Yeah. Hey, what's that? But it's good. The characters move like these. I don't know if these were motion capped or not, because all Medal of Honor Frontline, there was no mocap. Like it was computer programmed movements of shooting and them dropping the weapons and being shot and all that sort of stuff. But this looks a little smoother. I wouldn't be shocked if this one was mocapped. Thinking Inside the Box says Agent Under Fire was the first Bond game on the OG release in 2001. Yeah. It's good, man. I'm loving the variety of it. I didn't dip in the multiplayer. I just kind of looked at some of the options in there, and it's got like capture the flag, and it might have been one to just, pad on some more gameplay for you. But the Digital Foundry video said this was kind of the worst performing, and I would have to see it side by side. Everything looks super smooth to me and is playing really well. I did a stealth mission where I had a silencer, like a darts. You're just putting people to sleep. You can't kill anybody. And it got kind of dicey, like I was running out of darts, and the last guy, I'm just meleeing it, trying to knock this guy out. So there's been some fun moments, and there's no lulls. It just carries you, no fluff, no traversal between like zones as it loads. It loads a lot. You complete a little area and go through, and you're loading. Then I'm like, did I beat the level? But I don't go to the save screen, so it's like, damn, I got to keep going. But it is like a mini checkpoint. So I noted in Frontline you didn't have a lot of those checkpoints, but man, it loads off that disc a lot. It doesn't take long, and I'm guessing that might be an advantage of the Xbox. But it's spinning up every room I go through. It's loading that whole thing in there. Box says the only one I played was Everything or Nothing, and that's supposedly the best one. That was their consensus in this video too. They loved Everything or Nothing, and I think it's a co-op campaign. So I'm looking. That one actually features Pierce Brosnan. That's not a Pierce Brosnan production. Everything or Nothing. That's the one with Is that the one with Heidi Klum, Box, or Shannon Elizabeth, or like I can't remember who they got. Like they got big names for one of those and villains and everything. I know it has Pierce Brosnan. But that's it for me, Brant. I bought Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the original Xbox, and I started playing 007. Oh, another thing, Brant. And this is I had asked a friend of the show, Michael, this a long time ago. Box, maybe you can help me with this one too. Where do you put all of these games? Do I file this under Agent Under Fire? Do I file it under 007? Do I file it under James Bond? So they don't all say, do they all say 007? I think they might all say 007. So you would put them all, every single James Bond game, you would put at the top start of your collection, 007. You're not putting Agent Under Fire. You've got Agent Under Fire. You've got Nightfire. You've got From Russia with Love. And you've got Everything or Nothing that Box mentioned. Yeah, Willem Dafoe is the villain. That's right. It's got Willem Dafoe in that game. In Everything or Nothing. That's got to be an awesome ass game. All right, Box is Team 007. I think I might rearrange. And I'm truly a monster because I looked at my GameCube, PS2, and Xbox shelves, and I have gone 3 totally different ways with each one of those. So I must have been talking to Michael at some point and like halfway did one. I guess the thing to do also would be to look at like a Wikipedia list and see how they put, here's all the games for the original Xbox or PS2 or GameCube, or maybe one of those collecting apps where you scan everything and see where it sorts it and then go by that record. I don't know. The Tism in me enjoys like making sure my collection is nice and organized and alphabetized. And I'll occasionally find something and I'm like, oh God, why did I put that there? Or I'll go and then I'll put one in the wrong place and then I start building from there and I've got a whole nother like level that I've got to reintroduce. All right, I've been talking nonsense for too long. All right, 007. I'm going to redo all of them with 007. I'm going with your thinking there, Box. Is that what you would do, Brant? 007?
Yeah, I think I'd stick with 007. Yeah.
All right, I'll go that route. They'll all look good together, I'm assuming. Good call.
Well, I'm going to start with games acquired here.
You also got a copy of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the original Xbox.
No, next best thing though, because I didn't have a copy of Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Oh,
HD,
really?
Of course, has that. Yeah, I surprisingly did not.
Okay.
I think I have Donkey Kong Country Returns for the 3DS, but not the HD Switch version.
You have the Wii version. Got that. You have the original Wii one, where you have to shake the Wiimote.
Then I got a pretty good. I have one more from that was apart from this other one.
That game just got a Switch 2 port too, right? A free upgrade.
Yes.
Before I think you were going to say that before I ended up on one of my deranged talks.
No,
I almost got this.
I mentioned it.
I almost got this.
So this is the Turok Trilogy. I ordered it. It went on sale for like $20 or something like that.
Yeah.
I ordered it 2 or 3 weeks ago. It went on an adventure and it just kept getting delayed, and it finally showed up last week.
FedEx adventure.
Or No, Amazon. I
Amazon
just had
Adventure.
it from Amazon, and I had to double check that it wasn't from some like weird third party seller or something. And no, it was sold by Amazon. I'm like, okay, this is a. But then I also had a small order from Play Asia, since I hadn't ordered anything off Play Asia. They have they had a sale going on there, and had some stuff that I hadn't dipped into. So first up, I have the Okami HD. For Switch. It's a lovely looking cover art as well.
That's
I got.
Man, I did this deep dive into versions of those, but the Switch one is a very good version. I think because you can paint on the you physically paint on the screen, and that takes away some of the frustration of drawing the spells and stuff.
I already had the already have the first one of these, but I went ahead and got Front Mission 2 and 3, the remakes.
Mm-hmm. Who did those ports? Does it say on there?
This is Rainy Frog.
It's interesting. We all appreciate a good Rainy Frog.
Forever Entertainment is the other name on here, aside from Square Enix.
Yeah, they're the ones doing the Panzer Dragoon, if I'm right on that. They're doing and House of the Dead, I believe, also. They have their name on. What else did you grab? These are good gets.
Patapon 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
For the Switch. Of course, a great game. Great little rhythm game, Patapon. And last but not least, I've held off on buying this release, but I've heard that this, being the Asia, or I guess Japanese version, less censored, and I'm sure it's been updated enough to where it's not that bad as far as like performance and everything, because I know when this game first came out there were some issues, but this is the Switch 2 edition of Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. So this is technically, with it being a Switch 2 edition, it'll play in both Switch and Switch 2.
That's cool. Kind of a forwards compatibility.
Yes. And last but not least, I was gifted a game over the Father's Day weekend.
Oh, sweet.
And the game I was gifted, I'm very grateful for, and I've started playing this, which is the latest Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Awesome.
It is so much damn fun. It's very tongue-in-cheek, follows bits and pieces from just about all of the Batman movies, Batman universes.
The Batverse.
Like one of the very first bits as Batman, of course, starts at the beginning, little baby Bruce Wayne, your parents get murdered. And then as he does in the Nolan trilogy, older Bruce Wayne goes to confront Falcone, the mobster, and gets shooed away, basically, and feels powerless. And then all of a sudden there's this odd man speaking with an accent, and he says he has a particular set of skills, is literally what the characters. I'm like, man, this it's doing all these things.
Fantastic.
It's the humor is amazing.
That's fantastic.
Sometimes it's very silly, but other times it's absolutely perfect. The first part where you're going like through this backstory and he's training, to become basically Batman, it feels more like an Uncharted game, because you're
it's not a bad
running
comparison.
And jumping and then taking out enemies, and it persists throughout, because there's some areas you come to and like you could actually play it 2-player co-op, I've seen.
Okay.
but you'll get to like a doorway that'll be blocked, and it's like, oh, it's going to take both of us, and you have to go press the button and hold the thing up, and one person goes under while the next person goes. The rest of it is very Batman Arkham.
I've seen that in the
Very
combat.
similar combat.
Yeah.
Very similar combat. But so far I'm absolutely loving this game.
Have you seen any pieces from the Batman 1989, they say, the first Michael Keaton, Tim Burton? Have you seen any pieces from that one yet?
I'm starting in that section right now.
Okay. There's a clip I saw it in like a trailer, but they nail one of my brother and I's favorite scenes from that movie in Lego form.
Is it Joker going through the no? Or is it?
I didn't want to spoil for you if you're close.
No, is it Joker going through the museum? I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen that.
God, yes.
Recreation. It's absolutely perfect.
We replayed, I promise you, we wore the tape out with Jack Nicholson like going through the entrance of the Lawrence, and he has the boombox and it's playing Prince. And the thing is, they got the Prince song. So Prince didn't write the score. That was Danny Elfman. He wrote the soundtrack, and there's so many songs like interwoven, both of them like hand in hand, created a masterpiece, an audio masterpiece to go with it. God, that movie's so fucking good. But my brother, we laughed so hard. The Joker's going in a museum where he's meeting Vicky Vale on a date. And he's painted over his white Joker face. He's got like makeup on, but Lawrence, let's do some art or something. Let's broaden our minds, and let's do some art.
He's going through and editing paintings,
but it's the way Jack Nicholson like goes through that door, and he's got his staff, and he's like making these faces. We cried laughing over and over, and rewound and watched as kids. We loved that part. Man, they nailed it. I was so happy seeing that. I sent it to my brother. I sent him that trailer. He's like, this alone might be worth the purchase. I was like, it's pretty cool.
It's amazing so far. It is. I think that, if you like it, you can play through it with your kids, or you can watch them play through it, or all the Lego games I've played through a little bit here and there, like with other people. I don't think I have a Lego game or ever, like the first time I really, it was the first time I ever saw a slim PS2 and had a encounter with, I think it might have been like, it was one of the Lego Star Wars games. It was like either episode 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But my cousins that I hadn't seen in years, we went up and visited them for, I forget why we were up there, but they were like, hey, yeah, come in and play. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen a PS2 like this. I was used to my original PS2 fat model. I'm like, dang, that's pretty cool. They're like, yeah, and then sit there and trade off the controllers and playing Lego Star Wars.
They're so good. They're such good video games.
They are really good. What's that? Treasure or Traveler's
Tales? Yep.
Yeah, Traveler's Tales. They've been on those for years, and they have do a recipe. Wonderful job. And as I say, because even from what I remember, it's the same stuff. It's like, man, everything in this world, you can, break it, and you collect the little studs as like the currency and whatnot. And
and it's not just like how great the video game part of it is. It's the humor that they inject in the franchise that you love, right? So the Star Wars ones, it'll always be something zany happening. Indiana Jones, if you know these you could play the game and enjoy it. But if you know these franchises, these like homages and nods are second to none. Brilliant writing that they do in these. I'm glad you're liking that one, Brant. That's a hell of a gift too. Are you playing like those co-op sections? If you were to play with AI, you think they would just do it? They would just lift that part?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been playing it by myself.
Oh, okay. So it could either be the computer player or somebody with you.
Yeah. And it just the AI companion's just there with you. They, help out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing that. I completed my Kingdom Hearts playthrough that I was doing.
You beat the first one?
I beat the first one on my Ambernic device.
That's right.
Ambernic RG Vita. And I've just kind of been popping some random retro achievements on that thing every now, just like booting something else up, playing a little bit.
Yeah.
I think while I was waiting on you, I just like booted up Crash Bandicoot and was running through Crash Bandicoot for a couple of levels.
How long is
we
Kingdom
played
Hearts?
some Old Man Halo. It's really not that like it's not that long. I don't feel like, especially if you know where to go.
Okay, this is just a run for
I remember.
Yeah,
I was about to say I remember getting lost there's a couple levels too that it's easy to get lost in.
I made it to Agrabah, I think, on my last playthrough, but I've got them on Steam Deck. They play great on Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about playing those. Did I hear you mention Old Man Halo?
Yep, me, you, and Cesar played some Old Man Halo. Was that Saturday night? We got what 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that.
So you have to explain to.
We had some good runs.
Yeah, we had some really fun rounds. You have to explain to Box because he accused us on the stream of being camping. He asked if we were going to set up a tent and campfire.
I mean, it's kind of camping, but it's also that's just the meta for that map. It is either you're running around, but it seems like no matter what, most people congregate in either what we've deemed as the room, or you've got the room outside of our room, which is like we say like the maze or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just it's the room where like 3 or 4 different doorways converge and come out into there.
Yeah.
And that's where people that's where they congregate. They're either in our room or that room. That's it. Like,
it's just crazy. We've created this meta, but then we have this lingo like the maze room, the basement, the back porch. Like we have these locations, middle, like we know where they're coming from.
Middle.
Yep. It's fun. It's Box has played those maps via X-Link Kai. It's a blast. Yeah, so we push that room, we hold it, and we make it clear, like, try to take this room. And they did. Like, we got beat on one of those. I think it was the map. I think it was the round with the squashes.
We had to take it back. Yeah.
They took it back from us, and we could never retake it. So they ended up winning. But that's, like, we created... That, to me, is, like, the meta for that map. Is us messing around. Yeah.
At that point, it's just a war of attrition.
Yeah. And who can break through and who spawns where and who sneaks up on the back porch. And man, but that was fun. We had so much fun with that. Old Man Halo continues to be fantastic.
Other than that, I have been messing around a little bit again with PSP via so I have a new coworker that I've been talking to, and he is a good bit younger. He's in his early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But we have connected on video games and things,
as one does.
And he still had his original PSP, and we're talking about that. There were several games that it was funny because it was myself, another coworker, talking to him, and me and the one coworker are about the same age. I think he's about a year younger than me.
Okay.
But he's talking about Mortal Kombat and this, that, and the other. And he's like, oh, remember when you'd have a little piece of paper or something, or the manual booklet, and you'd write down like the fatalities or the cheat codes or something. Like, I was just having this conversation, not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the younger guy is like, what are you talking about? I don't like, dang, dude, like, really? You never had that? Like, even with
no clue
those games, you still had like cheat codes and stuff, but I don't know, that it went over his head. But he actually brought in his PSP and showed it to me. He dropped it. He had dropped it as a younger lad, and it's cracked. It needs some TLC. Surprisingly, it was already running some custom firmware.
Were they
So
aware of
I
this?
said if he would, yeah. Well,
Okay.
he didn't know it was custom firmware. He's just like, yeah, I put a card in there and it's got a couple games on it. I'm like, let me see that thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
I need to
you're running custom firmware.
I need to know
Yeah,
what this is.
and
Cool.
it
I'm
was much
assuming an out
older
of date
though.
one. Yeah.
Yes. So I was like, yeah, if you're comfortable, I was like, dude, and I showed him like pictures of some of my hardware and stuff that I've done, and I was like, if you're comfortable with it, I'd love to take this off your hands and improve it a little bit for you and clean it up. He's like, yeah, if that's what you want to do, that's okay. So
Cool.
I'm waiting on a replacement face plate kind of deal for this front cover.
That's just one
But
unit, right?
other
Typically, you just
yeah,
put that on there.
it's the fat model too. It's the 1000.
Okay.
So it's relatively straightforward. Um,
I've got
I think you
one.
just remove like a couple cover or a couple screws and it just pops right off and that's it. You take the buttons out and you're good.
I've got, I think, a
Um,
2000 that could use a new faceplate, and I priced them before, and I was like, I'm gonna mess this up somehow. But I need to go ahead and pull the trigger too and do the fix.
um, and other than that, I've updated it to the latest version of the custom firmware that you can. I've already started. I went down a rabbit hole and um, ordered a new memory card for it, and
Oh man, you're putting some money into this thing.
that
Passion
they
project.
already these come into like a 2-pack. What's weird is I watched several different things. Is that the PSP will technically, like, if you put um a high capacity memory card in it, like even a 1 terabyte, the most it's going to show is like 400 and something. So it like maxes out at like 500 gigs.
Yeah.
But even if you stay lower than that, if you put something like a 256, you might get it to work. Apparently,
It all comes down to that 32-bit exFAT format, right?
yeah, it's like you have to stay with the 123 gig or whatever.
Yeah.
Because if you actually can get some of those bigger cards working, even if you do, sometimes files start corrupting or they won't load right or they just won't appear, and so it takes longer to load. There's all this
Yeah.
stuff. So
it's not worth the hassle.
yeah, I'm having to pick and choose right now. I'm trying to see what I can convert. What I need to keep is ISO, what I can convert to a CSO, like the compressed version without it, completely being booty
Corrupting it.
hole. So
Very cool.
I'm playing around with it, and
Update us on
we'll
that
see.
next week too.
And I'm thinking about even up in the capacity on that little PSP Go I had as well, because there's like those used the old Sony M2 cards, and there's like
It
a
wasn't
adapter
compact
for that.
flash.
You like
It's
put in
M2.
yeah, you put in basically like take off the back housing and put in an adapter for an SD card and just tape it down in the back.
Yeah.
So
I remember people doing that.
but yeah,
PSP updates.
because man, that PSP was a beast of a machine, man.
Way ahead of its time.
Even with the weird thumbstick nub, it was still a pretty good machine.
They made it work, and the first party worked around. It was that magic of first party hardware and software that Sony was so good at. PS1 classics, UMDs. I bought my fair share of movies and music videos, and it was so ahead of its time. Digital distribution.
But yeah, I think that's it for me.
Is that it for
Kingdom
you?
Hearts, Batman, Halo. tinkering around with handhelds still.
Play Asia Acquisitions. As always.
Play Asia Acquisitions.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. Thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.